Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome back to Bevvy Live. I'm your host, Laurie Black. We are here at Caol Ila on the beautiful island of Islay for Fèis 2023. Stay tuned to see what's happening at Caol Ila this year. Now then, delighted to be at Fèis 2023 at Caol Ila with Kirsty. Thank you so much for having us and for joining us.
No problem.
Can you give me a quick overview? What do you do at the Caol Ila distillery?
So my role is the assistant manager of experience events here at Caol Ila. So anything, the experiences that are ticketed, and also the Fèis is obviously a huge part of my role. So it takes up a lot of my time in the year. I think we start really about November time trying to prepare for Fèis. So yeah, it's a big deal over here in Islay.
Sure. Is it kind of a stressful thing in the build-up, or does it sort of turn into a celebration of island and distillery?
Yeah, I think there's just this overall buzz about the island in general, about Fèis. So it's a brilliant atmosphere. So yeah, it can get a little bit stressful the kind of closer it gets, the little bits and bobs that are needed. But actually, we're all well used to it now on Islay. We've all kind of grown up through the Fèis. It's been going on for quite a long time, so we're all well used to that kind of chaos. But yeah, it's quite a lot of pressure actually.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, it's a big week. Very excited to be trying the 2023 Fèis release. For distilleries, usually this is a chance to kind of try something a little bit new and be a bit experimental. Would you say is this going to be a typical Caol Ila? What is kind of classic Caol Ila for you?
So classic Caol Ila is just that we're all fall in love with that peat smoke when we're in Islay, but Caol Ila is actually a very good kind of introduction into the peat smoke. It's not too overbearing, so you're not going to get that wince when you pass it to a friend that's never had peated whiskey before. So it's quite light on the kind of peated side, but it has got a smoky profile, that kind of maritime note. It has got a little bit of sweetness in there as well. So with the Fèis this year, we've left it for 13 years in Pedro Jimenez and Oloroso seasoned casks. So it has been very different because we've never done anything like that before. We haven't left it the full time in those casks. So it does definitely bring out the kind of fruity side to Caol Ila as well, which is quite nice.
Sounds stunning. I can see it's bottled at a punchy 60.4% as well. So it's, you know, I find any whiskey at cask strength is often very, very good value because with a touch of water, sometimes it opens up.
Exactly.
And it's, something a bit special as well for those visiting the island or, as you kind of making the effort to come here from the mainland.
Yeah, you can purchase lots of different Caol Ila on the shelves. So it's really, like you said, really special to be able to purchase something you can only get here on Islay because you've made all that way, all that trip over, and you can't purchase it anywhere else, so it makes sense.
Amazing, cool. So without further ado, we'll open this up and see what it's all about. As I say, very, very excited to see what this is all about, and obviously the perfect place to try it as well. Being in any sort of whiskey warehouse is always a treat. I think it just adds to the sort of atmospheric ambience of the whole experience.
Absolutely.
But having a quick look at the colour, it's picked up some colour from the casks. It's, as you say, 13 years. It's been in oak. We've tried some whiskies recently that have been super, super pale. And that's often a bit of a warning sign that's perhaps maybe a bit too youthful.
It's funny, people do look at the colour when they pour a dram, and there is something quite satisfying about seeing that kind of colouring in there. But yeah, so just that natural colouring coming from those Jimenez
cans. Quite reassuring. On the nose, the smoke is obvious. I think not super obvious, but it is there. It doesn't dominate, as you say, sort of alluded to perhaps some other Islay single malts where it's a big smoky slap in the face.
Yeah, exactly.
Caol Ila is a bit more kind of subtle, would you say, in general with the smoke?
Yeah, I mean, it lingers the same as most Islay whiskies, but it's, it's very kind of light on the palate. It's not too overbearing, and it means it gives a chance for other flavours to come into it and kind of contrast or enhance that kind of smokiness. So that's what's quite nice with the Caol Ila smoke.
Yeah, I've never had a bad Caol Ila. It's always consistently, 7.5 plus out of 10. There's some whiskies where occasionally you'll reach 9 or 10 out of 10, but sometimes you get an absolute stinker that's 2 or 3. Caol Ila's consistency is always remarkable.
Good. Yeah, we work hard.
Good team. So we'll give this a little taste. Thanks again for having us. Slange. It's got a lovely sweetness coming through.
Delicious, isn't it?
That is delicious. I think we mentioned before about the strength And anything over 60, for me, often that goes into the kind of undrinkable meat category. But this is lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely do get that strength at first initially on the palate, but once that kind of mellows out a little bit around the mouth, it mellows out and it's got that really kind of, again, the dried fruit kind of taste from that sherry. So
yeah, no, it's really delicious. And Caol Ila is such kind of a versatile spirit. I've tried a few expressions in the past that have been perhaps independently bottled that had a big sherry influence, and the spirit's never been dominated. It's always been able to stand up to it.
yeah.
And I think this is another great example of that. So yeah, a fantastic bottling. As we said, a real treat for those visiting the island for Fèis.
Yeah.
And yeah, as I say, another excellent expression. So thanks again for having us.
No problem.
And yeah, enjoy the rest of Fèis.
We will. Thank you.
Yeah, pleasure. Right, folks, that's it for Monday for Bevvy Live. Join in tomorrow to see what's happening at Laphroaig. Fèis 2023 is shaping up to be, as always, a fantastic whisky festival. We'll catch you then.